Alrighty, we'll see if that, there we go. It worked. Now let me get my LinkedIn one going on here really quick. And then we will get this party started. And start there. Okay, it says it's going. We'll give it a sec. While I work on that, let's get this. Okay, so here I am. I've made quite a bit of progress here. Just putting on the finishing touches and polishing this up. So let's see what we have. So add CPC, RPC to, oh yeah. So here we are. I was messing with the calculations. They weren't quite doing what I wanted. So right now it's defaulting here to $1,000 for the budget, for example. So let's say my average revenue per click historical is like 5. So that is then, what that does is that then recalculates and updates this ACV AOV value, and it keeps the net profit. Oh wait, no, I think it does update the net profit. Yeah. Okay, great. So that is working correctly. But what I want now is if I lock this and I change this, okay, now it's changing. That seems right. 10. Yeah. Okay, so now it's changing the number of paid subscriptions. That's great. Okay, so that's still working. 2.5. There's a decimal issue. A cost per action of 2.5. Is it basing it off of... Wait a second. 5. Total revenue. My CPA, changing the CPA value shouldn't change the revenue per action value. Oh, is it going off of... I think it's going off of net profit. I'm just realizing this. 5 times 400. No, that's giving me total. Let me double check my LinkedIn's working here. Okay, cool. So let me bring that in now. And sorry, give me just a sec. So putting the finishing touches on my new ROI calculator. I'm gonna go live here. And we're good. Okay, I need to mute that. Sweet. Hello, LinkedIn. So let's go ahead and get back to this. So what I was noticing is if I change the revenue per action, it was changing this cost per action. So let me refresh this. Let me start fresh. So everything looks good. And then, for example, let's say on average, I know that my revenue per click is 5 or something. So now that's what that's doing, and that's just updating this ACV AOV value and then back calculating all of these other revenue per actions. So that's correct. But let's say that I know my ACV is 100 and I lock that and then I change it to 5. It's changing the conversion rates. Yeah, it's changing the conversion rates so that the paid subscriptions. Okay, I'm good with that. But then what if I change the CPA here? That worked. Okay. My biggest question is if there was something weird going on where I changed the revenue per action and the cost per action was changing, but it doesn't look like that's changing anymore. So we're good. I'm just going to move on. So this feature is done. Okay, include post-conversion events in revenue calculations. Yes. So let's go ahead and that's today. So what I'm saying is, like, let's say I want to include, because I know that, let's switch to the assisted sales preset. Okay, so I got views, clicks, demo requests, MQLs, SQLs, SQOs, and closed won deals. Okay, and I'm noticing my ACV AOV default isn't being set here, but let's say my ACV is 5K. So here I am. That's fine for now. Now I'm gonna lock this. I'm pretty sure that preset, when I made that preset, it was locked. Let me edit this. Ooh, it's not letting me edit everything in the preset. I'm gonna fix that, actually. That's important. Edit preset. Sorry, I'm gonna move the mic a little bit here. Edit preset so that, edit preset should include all savable fields. We're going to do that today. So let's do this. Here's the dialog box. When I edit a preset, I should be able to edit all savable configurations? All configurations, let's just do that. And let's give it examples, like events, field locks, values, like, and then we'll say like count, conversion rate, ACV, AOV. When I save or edit a preset, I should be able to configure. Oh yeah, I should be able to. Yeah, that's fine. ACV, AOV, and what was the other thing? Count, conversion rate, ACV, AOV. Oh, RP or CPA/RPA. Okay, I'm gonna let it work on that for a second. And let me double check that my streaming seems to work right now. Sweet. Hopefully, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I am just trying to build in public and show people what's possible, because it's been blowing my mind what I can build now. I've always wanted to build my own apps. And I've learned a little bit of coding, but it just takes so much time. And that's hard to do when you're a working parent, right? So this has been awesome to be able to build so quickly. So here it is. It's going, and hopefully it's fixing this edit preset. And we'll see if it also edits the save preset flow. While it's working on that, include post-conversion events in revenue calculations, yes. Toggle for rounding or not rounding, yeah. Undo button, yes. Replit remix button, sure. Add non-revenue value to pre-conversion events, or maybe just awareness events. That one, I'm not going to worry about that one right now. SEO plus glossary, I'm going to add that. Add feature requests, not this time. Vibe coding security warning, I am going to do that one. especially with what happened with like what I've been hearing the horror stories of people vibe coding apps and then users uploading their sensitive information and then that information getting leaked. I want to be very clear here that like, hey, I'm just vibe coding this stuff. Be very careful what you put in here. From what I've seen, Replit actually does a better job than most. Something that's cool, we might as well actually run this right now. Security scanner. Yeah, so it uses this semgrep feature to go and scan the app. Okay, here we go. Is it? Oh shoot! I just closed the preview. Preview, come back. Okay, sweet. So I asked it to let me edit all configurable fields. Here we go. Okay. Values and rates. I'm okay with that. And field locks. Yeah. It would be nice if it wasn't laid out so it wasn't like this. I want I want it to look more like the okay, here we go. So update the edit preset configuration dialog to have a layout. Let's try something. I'm gonna go kind of I'm gonna throw a curveball here. Before I do that though, let me get into a new branch. Let me fork it. I'm still on the CPX. I can merge that. I'm still super inexperienced when it comes to this Git management. But I'm learning slowly. So we're gonna go git checkout main, git merge CPX, git push origin, and then we're going to set up a new branch, and this is going to be for presets. Edit presets. No. Let's just say presets. Okay, so what I'm thinking actually would be nice is instead of opening up a dialog, or when I do that, or when I save, right? I think what I want instead is it just to like alter this into like an edit or save mode where it adds like you just kind of like click check boxes next to what you want to save and you just configure it here instead of using a completely different UX. So here we go. Right now when I save a preset, save preset dialog box opens. And when I'm going to try just speaking. Right now when I click the save button to save a save preset dialog box opens. And when I click the edit button for a preset, an edit preset dialog box opens. Instead of these separate independent dialog boxes, what I would prefer to happen is that when I click save or edit for a preset, the main campaign metrics section UI updates into an edit and save mode where it keeps the event cards and the fields and the locks and everything kind of as they are, but it adds checkboxes to check or uncheck what is being saved. And so that I can just directly edit and configure the preset as I want it to, and then I can choose what I want to be saved and what I don't want to be saved. And then I can save it either as a new preset or editing and upserting an existing preset. This should follow UX UI best practices and make it clean and easy and simple for users, authenticated users, to save and edit their presets using the UI UX that they're already familiar with in the main campaign metrics section. Okay. I've been trying to remember to do this a lot. I found that when I'm typing, I like it needs to be perfect and clear and concise, and that takes me a lot. It takes a long time for me to communicate that. And I found that I can just move a lot faster when I just brain dump verbally, or I should say vocally, through vocal dictation, speech to text. And the AIs do a really good job. These LLMs, they do a good job at, taking my word salad, stream of consciousness, and understanding it and executing on it. Whatever the AI, I don't know if some people call it understanding or thinking or reasoning or whatever, but whatever it is, it's working. So, all right. Just checking my LinkedIn and YouTube streams here to make sure that they're working correctly. I'm still very new to this. I'm getting better though, I would say. I've come a long way since my first stream where I doubled up the on the audio and it sounded terrible. I really messed it up, so it's okay. Today's Monday, July 28th. Yeah, okay. It seems to be working, hopefully. And YouTube seems to be working, so yeah, right on. So I'm actually going to tweak this. So what would I say? Rebuild, save, edit. I should have used, that's fine. Let's just do this. Preset CRUD functionality. CRUD is something that I learned that's been really helpful. I actually learned it from the agent when I was trying to describe what I wanted it to do. It said, oh, you just want to implement CRUD functionality. And then I had to go look it up. And it's create, read, update, delete. So just like full edit, save, delete functionality. Rebuild, and let's just do that. We're trying something, and I'm experimenting on a separate branch to see if it will let me do this. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think we're getting close. I think this is going to be super useful. I'm going to use it all the time when I'm like, okay, so like I have a partner that is giving me a bid of, $10 per click. Okay. They're asking for $5,000. Wait a second. One thing I'm noticing here. That didn't update. When I updated the budget with a locked CPA. Oops. Oh, well, I'll try that again. I don't think the logic worked there. Because at $10 a click for $5,000, that should update to 500 clicks or whatever it was, $10. So like that's correct. Okay, here it is. So test the new inline preset editing. Here we go. So I'm going to delete this. We're going to start fresh. Okay. So let's say I'm going to do let's go and so content views. I'm gonna do like a assisted sales funnel. So we got views, clicks, and then I want demo requests, and then MQLs, and then SQLs, and then SQOs. Oh shoot, there, and then closed one. Great. Here we are. I'm noticing when I add them, they are the calculations. The fields should be input. Okay. When add new event, fields should be calculated or populated. Let's say that. I mean, it's both, but and that's a high priority. That's important. Okay, so that's okay. So here we go. So my closed one, let's say my ACV is 5,000. And I bet if I just update this, everything else will update. Yeah, there you go. So conversion rate from views to clicks, let's say 3% for this. Okay. And then, let's do that. 400, and then clicks to demo requests, let's say 20%. Demo request to MQL is usually high. And I should be locking these conversion rates. MQL to SAL, or SQL, let's say 75. SQL to SQO, let's say 75. SQO to closed one, let's say, I don't know, whatever, 75. Okay, so I've locked them. Okay, and for this, usually $10 a click, and I'm noticing this isn't lining up because $10 a click times 400, that would be 4,000. So I need to fix the logic so that the campaign budget connects with CPA times the account value. So campaign budget should update. Campaign budget should update to match count times CPA. Also add lock, unlock. In my experience, most people they'll just whip out a calculator or like Google Sheet, and they'll spin this up, do their calculation, and then trash it, and then do it all over again. And the goal with this is to make a quick and easy tool that you can use to do it, and also you can save your presets so that you're not rebuilding things every single time. Okay, anyway, so I was trying to build a preset. So let's say the campaign budget is 5K. And usually the CPA is going to be, or the cost per click, I mean, for enterprise, notice that it did fix it just barely, But if I change this, it's not, okay, so if I change the CPA, it recalculates the event based on the budget. But if I change the event count, it doesn't update the budget value. Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna say for this campaign, the partner saying, hey, we estimate, whatever, $50 and 100. Content views, 3,000. That sounds about right. Okay, that's good enough. I'm just trying to test the preset functionality here. Notice the conversion rates are all locked. If I lock content, if I lock any of these event count fields, they all lock because that logic is baked in, which is great. Good enough. So let's save it. Boom. Okay, so here's what happened. There we go. Sweet. Preset name is assisted sales. And I want it to include campaign data, event values, field locks, journey events, and conversion rates. Ooh, I'm noticing that. I mean, they're all kind of like. That's okay. This is going to be good enough for now. So I'm going to say I want campaign data and that. Oh, I definitely need the journey events. Yeah, there's just so much logic here, because for example, if I don't include the journey events, then none of these other values should be saved. What would happen if I didn't save that and then I tried to load that preset and it tried to load event values without loading the journey events? I don't want to go that deep into this right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and save it. And I'm going to notice these fields. So one thing I'm specifically curious about is it going to save the ACV AOV with a lock? And is it going to save the CPA 50 with a lock? And is it going to save the conversion rate locks? So I'm going to save it. Here we are. It didn't wipe anything, which is good. So I'm going to reset to default. Here we are. And then I'm going to load this. And I notice that the conversion rates are not locked. And the AOV is not there. Okay, so I saved a preset with a specific ACV AOV field value, as well as locking all of the conversion rate fields. But when I loaded that preset, the ACV AOV field value was blank and none of the field locks were activated. Oh, shit. Why did it stop dictating? The ACV AOV field value was empty and none of the field locks were activated. Please fix it so that when I save a preset, it saves the ACV AOV value and gives me the option, gives me the option to save the AOV field value. And when I load presets, it correctly loads that ACV AOV value as well as the field lock unlock. In other words, just make sure that when I'm saving or editing a preset, all of the configurations in the campaign metrics section can be edited and saved. And then when that preset is loaded, all of the configurations are loaded. Let's just do that. And I noticed my dictation wasn't understanding what I was saying there. There you go. All right. Just checking here on YouTube and LinkedIn, making sure that I'm not missing any comments or anything. I mean, I doubt anybody's watching these, at least not yet. Maybe someday, but that's okay. I just want to start practicing and start getting out there and building. And hopefully eventually I'll get good at it and start building things that are useful and creating content that's interesting and helpful. So I also I feel this pressure to perform, because I know live streamers, they're supposed to be so energetic and charismatic and stuff and funny. I mean, I have my moments, I guess, very few and far between. But what I'm trying to do is just be my authentic self and, put it out there. And hopefully, like-minded people at least, will be able to connect with that. And at the very least, I hope to learn something. So out of curiosity, let's see what it's saying here. It says, I can see the issue. The preset saving and loading isn't properly handling ACV, AOV, metadata values, and field locks. Blah, 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 blah. Cost per value and revenue values aren't included. Event metadata isn't being preserved. Yes, great. So it knew what I was talking about. See, and this is what's cool about when I was just kind of spouting vocally, is that as I was talking, I was like, you know what? Here I'm talking about the ACV, AOV field value and the locks and stuff, but really I just want everything. And so instead of deleting that and going back, I just kept going, and I just said, in other words, make sure that everything is being saved. And so it's just this idea of just start sharing my thoughts and just brain dumping. And I think this is something that's going to take some time for me to adjust. Is now I don't have to now that my the bandwidth is opening up. The bandwidth between my brain and the computer is opening up, and I need to take advantage of that. Okay, let's see how it works. So I'm going to delete this again, start fresh. So I'm going to set up. I want demo requests and MQL and SQL and SQO and closed one. Oh shoot, I just deleted that. Jeez. Sales qualified opportunity SQO. And that's a qualification. Default conversion rate 75%. I'm pretty sure that's all I had here. Okay, let's bring that back. Okay, there it is. It's back. And then closed one. Sweet. So now my ACV is 5K. And then if I update this, let's say at 100, campaign budget is 5K. This is 3%. There you go. I think that's about right. And then I was saving these. Okay, that's right. Clicks. Demo request to mark MQLs was 90. and then 75, 75, 75. Sweet. Okay, great. And we're not gonna be getting that many clicks for a campaign like this. Yeah, CPA cost. So CPA, cost per action. This action being a click, it's gonna be 5,000. I'm still not sure if this CPA technically can apply to like content views, but whatever. And let's say I'm noticing like, let's actually make it 50. Yeah, whatever, 20. Net profit of that. That's good enough. Good enough for me. Okay, sweet. So now I'm going to try to save it. There it is. It asks me to save my ACV, AOV, and my cost/revenue per. Great. Assisted sales. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. And let's see if it actually saves my locks. Ooh, I want this locked too. Save it. It says it was saved successfully. Let me refresh to wipe it. Good. And then open my preset. The conversion rate locks are still not there, and neither is the ACV AOV. Let me just double check it's not a cache issue thing before I tell Replit to go and fix it. Preset. Yep, it's not loading. It's not loading those. It is loading the events, but it's not really loading anything else that I can tell. Excuse me. Okay, well, at this point, and this is where, like, you know, like somebody who had more coding experience and knowledge and skills, like they could probably go back into the code and figure this out themselves. And I could maybe figure it out eventually with hours and hours and hours. But I found the best thing to do is to just start a new agent, bring out the big guns, the high power models, and just say, right now when I save and then load a preset, only some of my configurations are being loaded, including events, and campaign budget, period. But I want all of my campaign metrics section configurations to be saved and loaded, including CPA and RPA and the ACV/AOV field values, and especially the field locks. The field locks need to be saved and loaded if I select them. Let's just do that for now. One thing I'm thinking is if I, instead of like saying, letting them choose, like I want to, you know what? I am going to do that. Rebuild the preset saving and loading functionality to not be customizable or configurable. Instead, just save and load all of the configurations, including events, event field values, CPA, RPA, conversion rates, campaign budget, the ACV/AOV value, and especially the field lock or unlock, period. In other words, any user inputs in the campaign metrics sections should be saved and loadable. Period. Remove the functionality of letting users choose what aspects of the preset to save or not, and remove the ability to edit presets. Instead, users should just be able to save their entire configuration as a preset and either load that preset or delete that preset. Should save their entire as a new preset. Boom. Okay. So it's going to go and do that. See, and I love being able to do this. It feels like I have a really great engineer, software engineer, and a programmer in my back pocket that I can just be like, hey, here's what I want, and most of the time it'll just go do it, and it'll do it well. And sometimes we have to kind of circle around here, and it works so fast. Like, I swear, if I did have a human developer that I was trying to work with here, if I sent them this, like, I imagine it would probably take them like at least, I have no idea, like at least 15 minutes, maybe like an hour or more, right? And it just would take them a really long time, and it would cost a lot of money. And also, like, I couldn't go back and forth like this so quickly. So that's been, it's just amazing. It's only getting better. Just in the last 3 months, it's gotten so much better. It's really been incredible. Okay, we'll see how it does here. And then with this last feature, I'm probably going to wrap up this live stream and then go finish up the app myself and publish it and put it out there into the world. And hopefully it'll be useful to people. I don't think it's going to be too hard to beat what's already out there. Like, if I say marketing campaign ROI calculator, and I come and I see the top 2 results, like, they are not very good. They're really, really not for what at least I would want when I'm doing my work. So this is me trying to build the tool that I'm going to use all the time. I'm really excited about it. So we'll see how it goes. I'll rebuild the preset functionality. There we go. Okay. I want to give it a second so you guys can see how it turns out. Excuse me. I'm yawning. Maybe need a nap here in a little bit. And see, this, I don't actually know how to fill this time when we're waiting on the agent. Something that I wish I could do is have 2 different Replit projects going in parallel, simultaneously, where while one agent is working on one project, I can go and open another project and work on it, and then just like toggle between 2 or 3 while the agents are running in the background. But I tried to do that and it broke it. Any more than one agent, so the second or the third agent, they would all crash. I think it's something to do with how Replit is configured. Like, I think agent usage is like on a per user basis, maybe. I have no idea. I submitted it to them as feedback, being like, hey, I understand that I can't use this 2 agents on the same project at the same time. That makes sense. But I wish I could use one agent on one project and another agent on another project at the same time. And they haven't got back to me yet, so we'll see. Hopefully that'll be a thing soon, because then this would be fun. Then I could move so fast. I wouldn't have to sit here twiddling my thumbs while the agent was working. So this one might take a second, because I told it to rebuild the entire preset save and edit flow. See, here it is. The preset edit mode is not defined, probably because he just deleted it, which is good. That's what I want him to do. I don't. Now I'll update the home file to remove all editing functionality and simplify the preset save load process. Let me start by removing the edit preset dialog, import and inline editing functionality. Heck yeah. That's what I want you to do. And see, I didn't have to tell it that. I didn't have to say, go remove this, and this, and add this, and this, and change that and that. Like, I didn't have to be explicit or prescriptive. I could just be descriptive and say, hey, this is what I want it to do, and it'll go and figure out how to make it do it. It's just crazy. It's so crazy. I'm also curious how much this chat is going to cost, because I'm using the high power 5x cost model. So I'm guessing this one update, it's probably going to take close to 10 minutes, and it's probably going to cost probably $10, something like that. Sometimes I think my most expensive ever was $18. And usually these high power ones, in my experience, they're between $5 and $10. But usually they're worth it, because otherwise, if you're using the base model, which is still great, but it takes longer because there's more trial and error and more tweaking, and it doesn't quite get exactly what you want. And so eventually the cost, what takes the high power model one chat to do for $10 costs the other model, 5 chats to do with $3 a chat, $15, right? So, and some of them are significantly cheaper than that. So we'll see. But overall, building this entire app, I don't know, it's probably going to cost $150, maybe 200 max, and 10 hours of my time. And then it's going to, that's the beauty of software and leverage, is that now, millions of people can use this potentially for free, and it saves hundreds of thousands of dollars of people's time, right? We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Yeah, it's still chipping away here. I know this is probably not fun to watch. You have the luxury of skipping ahead, so if you haven't done so already, please do. Skip towards the end. I'm probably just going to show you the final results of this thread, and then close things up and go and finish the app off of the live stream. Yeah, I'm doing that. I wonder, include post-conversion revenue. I'm not going to do this one right now. I'm not going to do that one. That would be a nice to have. These ones are important though. How we're doing? Yeah, we're coming close to 10 minutes. That's about right. For something like this, where I'm saying hey, I want you to do a full rebuild of an integrated feature that covers many different files. This, you'll see it's doing the presets drop down, save presets, the home, schema, and also I think there's 2 UI, TSX files that it deleted. We can actually see it here. Okay, yeah, so it deleted the edit preset dialog file, and then it modified these so far. And I'm still on the presets. That's good. I know this is probably boring for anybody watching. If anybody is watching, that's okay. Feel free to come back later and see the results. I would probably go and work on something else in the meantime. I don't know. What's something I could talk about that would be semi-interesting? Excuse me. One thing that I'm curious about is if I'm curious to see how this, these vibe coding tools change the software industry, specifically like SaaS, software as a service, where people are paying to gain limited, temporary access. They're like renting access to an out-of-the-box software, when instead they can just quickly spin up their own custom solution that they own and that they can customize. And, they don't have to submit feedback and like feature requests and wait for it to get added to the roadmap and whatever. Like they can just literally build it in themselves immediately. I think for small like startups and SMBs and stuff, like this is going to be the way to go for a lot of their tooling. Yeah. Excuse me. I think it's going to be really interesting to see, because I think a lot of people are paying quite a bit to rent access to software that isn't quite what they need. And now they can just, they have one Replit account that's $25 a month, and they can go and build, tons of different tools to be exactly how they want them. All right, here we go. Removed all preset customization options. Let's refresh. Let's see how it goes. Presets, assisted sales. So the edit button's gone. That's good. Let me start fresh again. So we go to demo requests, and then MQL, and then SQL, SQO, close one deals. Okay, and I'm gonna say my CV AOV is 5K, and I'm gonna say my conversion rate, this is 5K. My conversion rate's 3%. Content clicks is gonna be closer to 100. Conversion from content to demo request is 20, that's good. 75 for the rest. Doodle-doodle-doo. Oops, I did 72. Oh, it's overriding it, that's why, because it's rounding up or down. That's fine. Yep, and then let's say that's closer to 50. That's fine. 200% ROI. Yep. That all looks good. Okay, now let's see what happens. Campaign budget 5K, selected events, event values, conversion rates, locked fields. Ooh, that looks good. Let's see if it actually works. Assisted sales. Save preset. Ooh, failed it. Okay, I got an error. Let's check the console. Nope. I didn't see ya. Shoot. Okay, let me try it here. I'm not super familiar with how that. Let me just try to save it. test, save. There it is. Okay. I got a post request error. And I'm going to get rid of the high power for this one and start a new thread. I get an error when I try to save a preset. Oh, that's all it gave me? Just API presets, 400 error. I tried to copy all this too, but maybe it doesn't need that. Yeah, it's thinking about it. But, I mean, well, I like the change that it already made here. This save campaign configuration is really nice. Oh, I'm noticing, ooh, it broke all the other presets. Ooh, yeah, it needs to go update the default presets in the database to use the new. Once I fix this, I need to go and save that. I need to remember that. Update default presets to use new. Probably schema is what's going on. Yeah, well, I'm gonna wrap this up. To be continued. You'll see. I'm probably gonna wrap this app up myself, and then the next live stream is gonna be pretty sweet because I'll probably start a new app from scratch, and that's the most impressive. It really, really is when you can see from scratch what it looks like. So, and how much it builds, how quickly. The very, very beginning, the very first prompt is the most fun. So excited to share next time. Thanks all. See you later.